everyone, thanks for listening to Sex with Emily. Today's show is definitely not safe for work, but in the best possible way. I've got 4 hilarious ladies in the studio to talk about all things sex, and we're getting into the dirty details. Real women, real stories, nothing held back. Some of the things we'll be talking about, you can find out the biggest mistake a man can make in bed. What do real women think about during sex? And what do women really think about anal sex? Everyone's favorite topic. Okay, everyone, so thanks for listening. Enjoy the show.
Look into his eyes. They're the eyes of a man obsessed by sex. Eyes that mock our sacred institutions. Bedroom eyes, they call them in a bygone day.
Hey, Emily, you got a boyfriend? Because my man E here, he just got his heart broken. He thinks you're kind of cute.
A girl's got to have her standards. Oh, my.
Do women know about shrinkage?
Isn't it common knowledge?
What do you mean, like laundry? It shrinks?
Can we not talk about sex so much?
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, I feel so good.
Being bad feels pretty good. But you know, Emily's not the kind of girl you just play with.
Listening to Sex with Emily. We're talking about sex, relationships, and everything in between. For more information, go to sexwithemily.com where you can check out my podcast, sign up for my mailing list. God damn it if you've not signed up for my mailing list. I give really good email. I mean, I have other skills as well, but I have to say that people, they like my emails. Check it out. We send them once a week. We do not spam you, and they're pretty entertaining, and they link to a lot of the great stuff at our site, which every day we're posting blogs and videos and things that will help you have better sex and relationships, because that's what I'm all about. And I'm all about these sexy ladies here. Hi.
Hi. Hello.
This is so fun. I love these shows because I've got these, you guys, there is nothing held back here. I know because, okay, so I'm going to go around and introduce you guys, and then we're going to talk about when we first met, like how I know that they would be awesome on the show. So first, okay, so I have Grace.
Yes. Hi.
Hi, Grace.
Hello.
So tell me about yourself. How old are you?
Oh, my name is Grace Parra. I am 31 years old. I am sassy Latina. It's not relevant at all to our conversation.
I just got a picture. Oh, there are pictures on the site.
There are pictures on the site. Great. And I'm a writer, host, comedian, actress, I guess I should say too. Yeah, one of those hyphenates, one of those LA hyphenates.
I love it.
Yeah, and I'm a real big fan of sex, talking about sex, being candid about sex, avoiding talking about sex with my father.
Right. Well, that's good. That's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Dads don't really use one.
Dads don't get it. Moms get it.
Right, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But dads know.
Dads know.
That's smart. Okay, wait a minute. Are you in a relationship? What's your relationship status?
I am single. I am single as the day is long. No, that's not a thing.
It sounded so sad, Grace.
It sounds very sad. I'm single, but
you won't be after this show.
I don't know.
Once they hear about no.
I'm but dating.
Okay, single but dating. Got it. Okay, Jennifer.
Hi.
Or Jen.
Jen, yes.
Jen.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Jen. I'm good. Good to see you.
Oh, I'm excited to be here. My name's Jen Bartels. I'm also a comedian and actress and a creator of things that are important to me in my heart. That sounded cute and deep. Yep. And we actually have a show. Grace and I have this show called LadyFreaks Comedy that we do at UCB here in Los Angeles. That's kind of I guess similar air to this show, which is us just being stupidly candid, not the most educated, but always wanting to further our education on sex topics. So excited to be here. And
how can people find that? Like, I just want to say that I'm honored because I was in your first show.
You were amazing.
Yes,
you guys got to check it out. It was really fun. And I have to say, I knew, like, I walked into our green room, and I think, Grace, was it you? You were like, yeah, so this guy, I was seeing this guy, and like some guy came in my chest, and then I had another date, and I didn't have time to shower, and then I went home, and then I had another guy, and then I'm like, wait, no shower? The cum, could he smell the cum? I mean, so I'm like,
we just got right into it.
Like, literally, I don't even think we said hi.
We didn't say
I don't
hi.
even think I said, like, I'm Emily. You were like, so this guy came on me. It was, I'm like, these girls can get that. So that was a good, that was behind the, wait till you see the show.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, Kim. Hi, Kim.
Hi, Emily.
How are you?
I'm doing great, thanks.
So tell me, Kim. So Kim's a friend of mine, and tell me about you. We all live in Los Angeles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And how old are you?
Well, I'm 42 and very single, and I've never been married, so you can imagine how many sex stories I have to share.
Right, because you're not a virgin. You haven't been a virgin for a while.
Well, yeah, it's been a few years. No, a very long time. But no, it's just something I'm totally interested in. It's a big part of my life, and definitely open to just like talking about it today and sharing some crazy stories.
And you're single now? You said single?
Very single,
okay.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Jennifer, did you say you were...
I'm separated, so I'm newly single.
Okay.
So
Separate. You were married? And now
I was
you're-
married, and now I'm going through a divorce.
Oh, okay. And
Yeah.
how long were you married?
I was married for 2 years, but I was with him for 7.
Okay.
So it was the same dick for 7 years.
Wow. Okay, so now you're just going. Okay, we're all single.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
This is insane. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Laurie, assistant
hello.
producer Laurie.
Hello.
Hi, sweetie. So tell me,
I'm
about
27,
you.
27 years old, and I am single. I'm looking for more, you know?
You want a relationship?
Well, I always want a relationship. Yeah, I just feel like I'm wired that way. But I also very much enjoy casual sex.
Right. It's a good time.
Just
Especially when part of her job is like, I got to try out this toy tonight.
Yeah.
Can you come over and, right? Laurie's had some good stories.
I want that job, by the way. That's
It's
amazing.
awesome. Yeah,
It's
great.
actually, I mean, I don't want to tell her. I don't know. Maybe no one likes the boss when I leave. No, I'm kidding. But we have a good time. Anyway.
We do.
Laurie had her first multiple orgasm after using a toy in the office. I just want to launch with that because I just introduced her that way now.
Wait, was it in
But
the
we've-
office?
No,
Like-
not in the office.
Okay.
But
All
we've
right.
interned. She was an intern, but we've interned sex toy review day. We just did a sex toy review show recently. But she was saying the night before that she had never had a multiple orgasm, and she was trying this thing called the WeVibe Touch. It's the WeVibe makes a bunch of sex toys, but it's a clitoral toy. And she was like, I've never had one. I said, just because you never had one, because a lot of things about sex is we think I can only orgasm this way, I can only do things that way. And then Laurie took the touch home that night, and I was like, well, don't limit. You never know. It could happen. She came in. We were on mic like this in the same place. I said, so how was the WeVibe Touch? And she's like, I had 5 orgasms.
Yeah.
5?
In the
Emily,
one
That's
night.
incredible.
Like in
Planted
one,
the
like
seed in my brain.
one after the other?
It was like 1, and then a minute later 2 right next to each other, and then like 15 seconds later another 2.
So like aftershocks.
It was like little tremors.
Yeah,
I was going to
yeah,
say.
exactly.
It was like,
it was like the big
vaginal-
one, and then aftershocks.
Right.
It's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. So it's,
That's
it's a good time.
amazing.
I know, it's amazing.
I want
it's
that,
great.
by the way. I also
Do you want the toy?
I
Have you ever had, okay, so let's, so Grace, have you had multiple orgasms?
I have occasionally, but only self-inflicted.
Okay.
Never been given multiples by a man.
Okay.
Or by a toy.
Oh, really?
Neither
Okay.
man nor machine has been able to
Neither
give me.
man nor machine, but so your fingers are typically how you masturbate?
Well, actually, I do this sort of like Kegels-y thing.
Oh,
Does
okay.
anybody else do this key? This is something we've talked about a little bit on LadyFreak, but yeah, I am
You pump the Kegel muscles?
Yeah, like I don't use my fingers at all.
You don't even touch yourself?
Don't even touch myself, which is how sometimes in the middle of the night I can wake up mid-orgasm.
Wait, you hands-free masturbate?
I hands-free masturbate. Yep.
Have you always done that?
Always. I don't know how I learned it. Don't know how I picked it up, but I've always done
That's
that.
amazing.
Yeah, no,
Wow.
this is what I'm saying, you guys. We talked about this intensity. We have this product called the Intensity that does your Kegel exercise. It's the most amazing product in the world, and it does it for you, so your Kegels become stronger. And what I'm saying is, when they become stronger, your pelvic floor, you can actually walk around like aroused all the
time
because your muscles are bigger. That's why every woman needs to do their Kegel. Your pelvic floor drops. It's not straight, especially after childbirth or as you get older every year. But we all exercise our outside because that's what everyone can see. No one's going, her pelvic floor looks kind of lanky. But I'm telling you, I love this. Really, that's it. I've never.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I could talk about. I mean, it's great in many ways. It's a little bit difficult though because translating that to sex.
So during
sometimes,
intercourse,
yeah,
you typically do you have orgasms though?
It's much harder for me. It's
Most
much
women,
harder.
only 30% can. During.
Is that the official
Oh yeah,
stat?
yeah, that is 70% cannot. Okay, Kim, what? Tell me
I
about-
can. No, I can.
during intercourse. Every time.
if I want to.
See, I don't know why you're here.
It's in
I
my
have a hard time
mind.
having friends like this.
I have to think about it and really focus on it though.
Okay.
Is it a certain position, or can you do it for multiple positions?
Mostly like me on top.
Yeah.
So I wish I could do it other
No,
ways,
but still. So
yeah.
on top. So is it G spot or clitoral?
It's G-spot for
Okay.
sure. Absolutely.
See, mine's clitoral. I can on top. It's a surefire way. We could do it and still make dinner reservations and not be late. Because if I hop
Every
on top,
time?
every time, unless I've been drinking too much, because then that's a different problem.
Bourbon.
But
Right. Bourbon
I,
pussy.
Yeah, the bourbon pussy problem, the BPP. Anyway, I wish I could come other ways. Like I see in porn, like girls, I guess, quote unquote. I don't know if they're really coming, but like from the back, like from or
Anal
the guy,
sex?
yeah,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't know how that happens.
No.
They're lying.
Yeah, well, we're anal sex. Actually, absolutely. No, some of them in porn, they might not be in that moment, but a lot of women can have orgasm through anal sex because the tissues are so closely hitting up against your G spot, and it's possible. It is possible. Use lots of lube. I mean, not for every woman, but it can happen. Right. So yes, you're right. That is so. But you also want to be able to have a G spot orgasm too, or can you have that as well during?
No, it's more clitoral stimulation.
And have you had a G spot orgasm?
I have
Jen?
once or twice, but it's a rarity. It was like a special gift.
Okay. There's a gift from God. Thank you. Okay. Yes, Kim.
I wanted to add something to that. It actually didn't start for me until like my mid-30s.
Really? There's hope.
I think that there was like training, or I had to learn my body. I had to learn what really worked. So
how did you do that, Kim?
Yeah, I was just reading. I actually read a book called The G-Spot, and it was really like inspired me, and I really like put effort into it. And I think a lot of it's mental.
It is. Yeah. So how did you did you get a G-Spot toy, or did you just start playing around? You just read about how to move during sex. Yes. So what did you learn?
I just learned about really getting yourself really aroused, like on the outside, and like of course, it's really helpful if your clit is aroused.
They say to have a clitoral. I say, I know this, that it really helps to have a clitoral orgasm first, and then it's so much easier to find your G-spot because it becomes more engorged and swift. So you're already turned on.
Yeah, but I really have to focus on it. I think I actually like visualize in my mind that I want it to happen, and then I feel like that makes it much easier for sure.
Before your mid-30s, had you tried to make? Because I've never had one, and I try.
No, I don't.
Maybe
I don't
read
think
this
I
book.
Did.
No. So you didn't even try before?
I don't really honestly I don't remember. It's been so long. But definitely mentally, like I have to really take myself there, and I really have to be into the guy. It can't happen with just everyone. I really have to like care about him or have some kind of a feelings of some sort.
That's so important. I can't just fuck anything. I can't just meet a guy and do it. Like,
on the flip side, though, if you really care about somebody, oh my God, if you're into somebody, it's like waterworks.
Right.
Oh yeah. Oh, you mean like gushy pussy? Like,
oh, I wish. I have never done that, but I'd be interested in it.
Yeah.
I'd be very. In fact, I had a goal actually before I turned 31 that I would have squirty fun before 31.
That should be the name of your birth. You already heard. Okay. Squirty something before 32. We could make this happen.
Oh yeah. Squirty Lou before 32?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Totally. I mean, you can learn to squirt. You can learn to squirt. So you wanted that up. Okay. So, and then did we talk about do you masturbate, Jen?
I do. I masturbate quite a bit.
How?
First, the funny thing, we talked about this in the last show, I will fuck on my bed, but when I masturbate, I hide underneath next to my bed, so in case any neighbor can find a way to peek in, they can't see me.
Oh my God, really? Like you're afraid they're gonna...
I don't know. I can openly do things on my bed sexually, but when I'm by myself, I'm like, dirty little girl. And so I like go and I like sit by myself.
And sitting on the floor?
Like laying on the floor. Well, it's not a cold floor, it's a warm room.
Okay, good.
Yeah. No, it's not like it's not a cage. Like it's not I masturbate and I use my fingers, but I just rub my clit. So I don't like finger myself.
Directly.
Right.
Yeah, like I directly rub my clit.
That's something that I actually have been learning about myself. Direct stimulation to my clit is too much.
Right. That's that's actually common. So this is why we're talking about this, because we have 5 women in the room and 5 different ways of orgasm. Vaginas, we're all different. It's true. We all orgasm differently, and there's a lot of women who just their clitorises are way too sensitive.
Sensitive.
Yeah, they just can't. They can't have it touched. They have to like work up to it. Yeah. So that makes sense. But some women are like, you see porn.
This is a question. When you have too much sex, or your like clit is just getting touched and stimulated for like a few hours, then in the morning or in the middle of the night. Once recently, my clit felt like it was going on its own. It was having little seizures, and I don't know if it was like withdrawal or I had overly rubbed it. Like it was.
Did it hurt?
No, it didn't hurt. It just felt
it was like aftershocks.
It was aftershocks of just little.
That's like multiple orgasms, kind of, right?
But it wasn't an orgasm.
I was just laying there, and I was like, and then I always think dark. I'm like, my clit's gonna fall off.
Right, no, your clit cannot fall off.
Okay,
is that what you were asking me? No,
know.
but you can, like, sometimes, with different toys, you want to mix it up. If you're only using one toy, you just like anything you want. Do you ever use? But you don't use toys.
I used the rabbit for a while. Then I got so addicted to it because it stimulates your butt, it stimulates your pussy hole, and then it stimulates your clit, and it was like a Christmas morning. And then when I have a real dick, I was like, this is it.
Right, damn it, what else? You don't vibrate. You don't turn around with those little balls inside.
Did you insert it though all the way in? Like
it was.
How deep did it go?
I mean, it goes pretty deep. It's a decent size.
Yeah, have you ever seen? You guys got to come to Sex Dummy office.
Yeah.
Kim's gotten some presents.
Yes.
You don't understand. It's a good time. The presents, the toys. But you don't have. Did you have a G-spot orgasm with that insertion rabbit toy?
Yes, that was one of the times by myself that I've had one.
Got it.
Yeah, it stimulates everything. It was one of like the best dildos on the market for a while.
Yeah,
because it did so much. It blew my mind the first time that I had it.
I have the knockoff, the G-gasm.
The G.
Well, I thought you were going to say the ferret. And I was like,
so many different kinds of rabbit vibes now. Like they make hundreds of them now with like they just basically it's insertion and then they have the little things on the outside that vibrate.
Yeah. That's what
there's like clean ones. Yeah, so that's cool. And Kim?
Yes.
Vibration experiences.
Guilty.
Yeah,
my favorite toy is what's that little pink one that you get?
Oh, the Jeju Mimi.
amazing.
That's my favorite. Yeah.
You got there real quick, by the way. That's impressive. You're an
Oh,
encyclopedia.
I literally have 300 toys, like 5,000 toys, but that is my favorite.
That's my go-to every time.
Right? It's so powerful.
It's so efficient.
And so efficient. So it looks like a little I'll show you guys pictures after. And you guys, if you've been listening, I talk about it for a while. It's because I've tried everything and it still is my go-to.
Really?
And it's it looks like a little, like it's silicone. It's like
an
a little
egg,
it's rechargeable, like a
flat
stone,
egg.
like a pebble.
Yeah.
And you can hold it in your hand.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, it's like that. You hold it in your hand. It's rechargeable, and it just has these.
It's soft.
The reason why I know the owners, and the reason why I feel like I love it so much, it's soft, but it's a different kind of vibration. It's a thumpy, more of like a thumpy
I love a
motor.
thump.
You love a thump?
I love a thump.
A hump and a thump.
I love a hump and a thump.
And it just there's something about it. So that's what you use. Have you ever used it with a partner?
Yes, as a matter of fact. I put it underneath
His perineum, his balls?
Yes. Loved it.
Wow.
He went crazy.
Have you guys ever done any ball play? Guys love that. Listen, vibrations, we think it's for us. Men, you put a little something in their perineum, their balls.
I have never done any sex toy play with a guy before. I gotta get on that.
I do too. I get scared though. I just don't want to like pop a ball or like hurt it, because what ends up happening is I accidentally kick it or I do something. Right. So I always get scared to bring toys near their sensitive ball sacks.
Well, first, you don't want to do like the first time you're with them, but I felt that way too. I had a really bad experience in my early 20s. Like I think I knocked some guy in the balls or something, and I did something bad. And I literally blocked balls from my life. It was like I had post-traumatic ball disorder where I did not touch balls for years. I forgot they existed. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, I gotta get back into the balls. And then I realized the ways to handle them. You just you start really soft. You put them in your hands, kind of like those little Benoit balls.
Yeah.
Like that. And then you can add a little lube and then just see the little vibrations on the lowest speed of any vibrator you have, and you just rub it on the balls. I'm telling you, no guys ever complain.
They crazy. Guys love it.
You put in the perineum too, which
really
is
gently,
the taint in between. Yeah, gently. And right when he was about to orgasm.
Yeah, it was just kind of during the foreplay, just kind of heating things up. It was super hot. It's definitely a go-to.
Okay, good.
I think it's good to
use
talk,
the Mimi.
Yeah, and I think it's good to talk to a guy about it.
Right.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, not a surprise. Hi, lift up your balls. Here we go.
Exactly. No, you don't want to rush it. But yeah, I know what you mean with the balls. I got scared. What about you, Laurie?
I love balls. My favorite thing about I love I should say I like the scrotum in particular.
Okay.
I like to hold them, and then I like when your hand is a different temperature than their balls, and then the scrotum like moves and you can feel it moving. I get a big kick out of that.
Wow. Yeah, and you find that some guys, there are guys that do ask them for, are you start gently, or they were like, no, don't touch my balls. Have you ever had that?
They usually ask me to access their balls at some point. I go for the blowjob pretty quick. I usually go for a blowjob, and then I feel like, I don't know, 9 out of 10 times I'll hear oh, touch my balls.
Yeah, no, you're right. That is. That was a nice transition. Let's go into blowjobs for a minute.
Oh, let's.
I want to know how do you guys feel about blowjobs?
I love them. I really genuinely enjoy giving them. I like the feeling. I like the taste. I like the power.
It's powerful, right?
It's powerful. Yeah, it's fun. It's really fun. I think I might enjoy giving blowjobs more than I like receiving oral.
Whoa. Really? Oh, because you have the sensitive clitoris.
Yeah.
So that would make sense.
Yeah,
Wow, it's good because there is blowjobs get such a bad. Or men give the women stop giving them. They don't really like it. Or there are. I
don't understand that.
I don't either. But you were okay. Let's move to Jennifer. Who's Jen?
Yeah.
You were married.
Yeah.
7 years.
Yeah.
There's a myth, and maybe it's an old wives' tale that when you get married, you stop giving blowjobs.
Oh, sex went, this is sad, but it's the honest
Goes out the
truth.
window?
Yeah, sex, it just went downhill. Everything, it just, sometimes it works and you can make it work. And then sometimes you become so comfortable with someone that it goes a little.
Falls by the wayside. And then it's just life gets in the way. And so that's my big focus now is that's not going to happen with whoever I end up with next. But I do like giving blowjobs if I like the person. And I've gotten big on this thing where I even after he's been inside, then when he's right before he's about to come, I'll go back down and take it.
Yeah,
take the cum, right? You're
sure.
baby, come in my mouth. Right.
Yes, and it's so fucking hot.
Yeah.
Can I say the F word?
Yeah,
that's
totally.
fine, right? Okay.
Yeah.
And I've just, it's been something I'm surprising myself. I'm
Yeah.
oh, okay. It's powerful, but it's
Very
also
powerful.
if you like doing it and it feels so wonderful to them, it's like a little mission I'm going on. I'm here I go, and I kiss my way down, and then we go.
Wow, that's hot. Okay, good. I like any. Okay, well, Kim.
Yeah,
blowjobs,
I'm
fan.
all
Yes,
over it.
vote
Huge
yes.
Huge fan. I mean, I would give them all day if I could.
God, see, and I love this, you guys, because I have friends who are like, no, women don't really like them. They lie.
I have friends like that too, and I'm like,
And some
get
of
the
them don't.
fuck out my face.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot to it, though, like the hygiene aspect, liking the person, connecting with the person. I'm not just going to like suck any dick that puts his dick in my mouth.
Right.
You know.
Do you feel like is it the kind of thing that you would do like on the first date?
Yeah, totally.
Sure.
Totally.
If it was a good first date, sure.
If it was a good first
I mean,
date. What makes a good first date? Good enough that he gets a blowjob. You're connecting.
Oh, I mean, I think like sense of humor, paid for the bill, wasn't like weird about it. Like, oh, you got the French fries and I got the. I'm
yeah,
like,
and you gotta
done,
be
peace
gone.
out.
Yeah,
French fry Fred is the worst.
That guy's a jerk.
Okay, so Laurie, blowjob.
I do love giving blowjobs. I feel like it's almost like I think I'm good at it. So like it's like showing off when I do it. Like, are you ready for
What
the
makes you
best
think that you're
blowjob?
good at it?
Feedback,
You always
and then
choose
like
gets
after
great
when we did
forms after
the when we did the blowjob workshop or the oral sex workshop, and I was like watching through the PowerPoint, and I was like, "Yep, I do all of that."
Oh, good.
Yeah, like those are all things that
check.
I can make
Okay,
happen.
good.
Except if it's like super super large, then I get scared. But
We gotta get into that
what
in a
do you
minute.
do?
Large penises.
And
Yes,
I also
Kim.
think that you're like, if you know you're good at it, if you're really passionate about it, like if you're into it, the guy's going to be into it no matter
Exactly.
what, right?
Enthusiasm is the number one thing.
But I have an issue when it comes to eye contact. I never know how much to give because
just a little glance every
Just a-
once in a while.
right?
That's the whole time.
No, that's so creepy because that's happened to me where a guy's like going down on me and he's like looking up at me all the time like for approval,
Creepy.
and I'm not. You know this guy,
Right.
and I'm just not into it.
Right.
It was just like too much, man.
Well, you almost
Right.
feel like it's a show at that point. Like
Yeah.
it's like not real because you're like, how do I look? Do I look like I'm liking what I'm liking?
Yeah,
Like,
Right,
Exactly.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right. I think you just got to give them little furtive glances every once in a while,
Furtive
so they
glances.
can kind of like remember in their spank bank. I don't know, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you guys have any blowjob tricks? Like do you have like a go-to weird
I was
move?
just going to ask that.
Oh
I was
my
just
God,
going to be
tell me.
like, well, no, I was going to ask. I was
Ask
like,
me for blowjob tips.
yeah, anybody here. I was like, are there any cool tips? Like, I know for me, I have big lips. I like
Oh,
to engulf
nice.
as much as I can. Let's
Yeah.
not use those teeth. And then when it's in my mouth, I'll use my tongue to kind of
Swirl around.
So it's like a double thing. So you're getting in my mouth, but then I'm using my tongue to like kind of go around.
The tip?
too. Yeah, the tip,
And
yeah.
the frenulum, which is the most sensitive underside.
Yeah.
Yeah, the underneath of the dick.
Just right.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
what I read about.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Any blowjob tips that you think have worked?
Well, if you
For
are
you?
like me, this is so unsexy. Let's get unsexy for a second.
Yeah, why
If
not?
you're like me and you have acid reflux.
Oh,
And
deep throat.
I like a deep
Oh.
throat. I do like that. But I have a combination of acid reflux and postnasal drip.
Oh,
Here's
gosh.
the great thing, though.
That's so hot.
It's so hot. Here's the great thing about postnasal drip, though. There's always a little extra accumulation of like fluid back
Oh,
there.
so you can make it
So
wet.
yeah, so I'm constantly making it wet. Like there's just like it's a never. I never get dry during blowjobs. I can just like there's just like this barrel of.
That's amazing because
fluid.
it really, it's like number one is enthusiasm. Number two is like making sure like that it's super wet and slippery. And
Yeah,
number
yeah.
three is like enough pressure. So
Yeah, exactly.
You got it with the wet.
The
'Cause
wet.
That can be hard for me.
Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah.
I just like I need to take more water, lube.
Yeah, lube, but I don't like tasting lube.
But there's some good tasting.
Don't they have
lube.
like
really?
really cherry ones
Well,
now
I
or
have this
something?
new trick. Wait, Kim, let's get to you.
Well,
any blowjob
I
trick?
have one little one that sometimes it's like my magic trick that I'll pull.
Ooh,
in a
magic
jam.
trick, a magic blowjob trick.
jam.
So I think it's kind of like interesting, and maybe I don't even know because obviously I've never had a blowjob, but I've actually taken my finger and put it inside the corner of my mouth and kind of swirled my fingertip around while I was.
Wait, back up.
Do you get
Wait,
it?
wait,
You're
wait.
giving him a
Does this make
blowjob.
sense?
No, his penis is in your mouth.
Yeah, and then I'll take my finger and then kind of touch the tip with my finger just to create a
Well,
different.
we're all doing this. Can we get a picture?
Okay.
Just to create a different sensation on him, like not on
Oh.
me. I'm sorry. Well, it's in my mouth, but
His
it goes
penis.
like this, and then I touch a little bit on the side with my finger. Does this
Oh.
make sense?
That is
Yeah.
genius.
It's pretty.
Interesting.
I'm doing
it's
it
pretty
right
hot.
now.
It's pretty hot
No,
because
I don't. Is it how far in is he? And then your fingers in.
you know, like the whole head is in,
Right.
but then my fingertip is kind of swirling around a little because it just creates a different sensation.
Yeah,
that
that's what
he's
you
not
want to do.
expecting it.
Exactly. It's the whole thing of like what they don't expect.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
So,
a good tip.
that's
Lori,
good.
any good blowjob tips?
Always use a hands on the shaft.
Yeah.
I feel like just make sure there's coverage. And I feel like for a little while in my blowjob career, I had neglected the whole suction part of it. Like I was
Make sure it's-
inserting and everything, but I wasn't like sucking it all, or there was no tight vacuum around it.
Right.
I feel
And
like
you
when I
want to create
started
that vacuum. You just got
re-implementing that, then everybody was like,
you got to
"Great,
think that you got to mimic
cool."
like a vagina or an ass, or whatever they're into, and their hand. That's the tightness you want. So if you can make your mouth create that.
I try to do that. Sometimes I don't use my hand because I do mouth play, and I'm like, oh no, I'm going to my mouth will feel like my vagina. I'm going to do that.
How do you? So you do the deep throat too?
I'll do deep throat, but it's really, and it's not constant because if I do it, you'll just hear lots of.
Right. And is that attractive to guys? You think?
I'm sure some people
might be attracted to some.
Maybe not.
Like, oh, she's about to choke.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
it
good.
mostly is. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think so too.
I'm good with like filling up my mouth as much as I can, but also keeping that friction, like you said, that tightness,
like right at the very bottom then. So your mouth is going down, but you're still kind of using your hand.
A little bit. Like I might cup the base. But then it's just more about like with whatever I can comfortably fit in my mouth that I know feels good.
Depending on the size.
Yeah, depending on the size. Like that's another thing, guys.
Nipple play is something that I get into when getting blowjobs, by the way. You got one hand on the shaft, mouth around penis, and then with the other hand
you're playing with his nipples.
Yeah.
Okay, see, I've always found this fascinating because some men are like, I feel nothing, but some guys like it.
Some guys are really into it.
So have you found that more men are into? Because I actually, that's the other thing. I don't do that as often anymore.
A couple guys have been really into it, and then they ask for it.
So do you squeeze it? Do you?
No, I mean, I'll
rub around it.
I'll rub around it, yeah, and I'll kind of like tap it lightly because it's very sensitive.
It is,
and like nipples get erect for men. Nipples get erect during sex stuff. For women, I feel like my boobs get like a cup size bigger.
Yeah. No, it's true. You do
I don't
get
know what
more
the science
inflated.
is behind that. Is that true? Like our boobs
when you get
gorge?
around, yeah, they can. When you're turned on, your nipples swell and all that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah,
that's fun. Okay, little nipple play there.
What about butt stuff? Like,
let's get into that.
Well, like, I guess so. I mean, I don't mean to have such a direct segue, but when you're giving a blowjob, there are some people that I know who have said, "Oh yeah, my husband or so and so likes when I touch his asshole a little bit."
Right.
How do you get into that without being like, I'm about to touch that asshole?
That's a great question. Yeah. Okay, so right, because a lot of guys, they really believe that if they have any anal play, anything in their butt whatsoever, it'll make them gay. Let's say if they're a straight man, that they won't like it. But a lot of it, the fear comes to like, it's gay, it's not right, there's something taboo about it, which we all know anal sex is taboo across the board. However, there is like the male prostate, which they call like the male G-spot. And I'm telling you, not every man, but many men, they do like that. Like you put a finger in, but you don't want to just go right in. So like what I just tell men too about anal sex with women is that you never just want to like stick it in. You got to play. So what I say is like use some lube. You guys are lube fans?
Mm-hmm.
Like
yeah.
Like my dream is like lube on every nightstand in the world. That you just take a little lube, maybe make sure you could put your fingers wet, and then you just start like rubbing around it with your finger, like around his anus, maybe when you're giving a blowjob, and just see how he reacts. And then you can just start like tapping up into it with your finger. And then if he doesn't like freak out, then you can just kind of like stick a finger in, see how it feels. Little, see if he goes But I think that a lot of guys are kind of like into it. Sometimes you can do it right before they come, but you never want to surprise them right away. Just stick the finger. What's been your experience, Kim? Because you were nodding over there knowingly.
Well, I just experienced this last week, so
she had anal sex just in preparation for the show.
Oh,
yeah, right.
What a good student.
But no, with the whole like touching, like during like the blowjob thing, and it wasn't even like something I had to ask. I just like slowly kind of made my way there and did some of that like tapping and touching, but definitely with lube because it's not even like cool. There's like hair and it gets kind of gnarly. So it made it nice and easy and smooth. And I mean, he went crazy. Wow. It was amazing.
Okay. And then was this when you were giving a blowjob? Or
yeah, it was. Yeah.
And did you stick a finger in or?
I didn't go in because he's kind of new and I just kind of felt like that was crossing a line. Maybe I wanted to get to know him
you get to know him better. You don't just like rush into the anal. I mean, some people do, but
it was still like really hot. I know it really turned him on. And I definitely know it made his orgasm like way harder.
Yeah, you put a finger in there. Some men have like, it's like the best orgasms, even rubbing the perineum,
But you have to be careful with hygiene. I have a story from a long time ago with fingering a man's asshole.
Oh, okay.
And I just don't, because some dudes are just, and this isn't just dudes, but this could be anybody. Mm-hmm. Like, you got to prepare for that. Yeah. You can't just go to a Sizzler and then let's meet up later and then I'm going to stick a finger in your asshole because I'll throw up. Like, I can't do it. So I don't know. It's like this whole kind of setup of like, you want to make sure everyone's clean and comfortable with what's about to happen, but then you don't want to be like, I can't wait to stick a finger in your ass tonight. Like, you can't. So it's just, I feel like there's a lot of little.
What was the bad experience?
I stuck it in, and he loved it. He would love when I did it, and I was like, okay, that's fine. And then too many times, it was just like I take out my finger, and I was like, I'm going to throw.
Was it like in your nail bed?
Yes, it was like I had to scrub off my finger and like soak it like a shoe that stepped in dog poop.
Right.
It was disgusting.
I don't like that.
Please, this is a note who is ever listening. Just pay a little extra attention to your asshole if you think something might happen.
Right.
And your junk, by the way.
Yeah, you
that
junk.
shit.
What you say? You clean junk. They're balls.
I'm into clean balls.
I also think, this is just a personal opinion, shouldn't guys be like shaving their balls?
Okay, well, let's talk about that. What about grooming in men? Go.
I think that's just should be like a standard.
They shave their balls, all men. I don't even notice
if
they do.
I just don't like hairy balls.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I feel similarly, but here's the thing. I don't like fully shaved balls. I like for there to be a little bit of hair. I don't, and honestly, it's the same way that I feel about pubic hair on women, too. I don't want to look like I'm 9 years old. No,
again.
me neither. Yeah. I don't. I like there being a little bit of a landing strip. A little bit. I mean, like, don't worry, guys. I get up there and I shave that puss. Do not worry.
Right, good. Okay.
But I leave a little landing strip. Yeah. I like that in guys too. I like a little hair.
That's so hard to landing strip. Sometimes I'm just like, lazy.
It's work.
Because I got a lasered, so like most of it's off, but I left the landing strip because the bush came back, and I'm like, and then I have nothing because it's all gone. So then I still get this little bit, but I'm not really good at crafting it, so then I just shave it off.
No, I'm very bad at crafting it. But it's bad.
But I think it's like we're doing it, and I think as women, a lot of women, there's this idea or this pressure or this like social thing to like keep your vagina clean and trim, and I feel like the same should go for men.
Yeah,
if you're gonna thanks for kissing and touching and doing this, and look what I've done to respect my body and you touching me.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars on bikini racks.
Yeah, just like different.
Over a lifetime.
Yeah, and I feel like the same way. Like men should just
trim,
step it up and trim, and just or
trim their pubic hair and their ball hair.
Yeah,
and I don't even think that men even really realize that how much better sex feels when it's all smooth, because it does for me. True. The smoother it is, the better it feels, and I think that they might not even realize like all the benefits of the fingers and the tongue and all the other sensory experiences going on.
When you remove the hair, that's actually a good point.
Yeah, it feels
that's a really good point. What do we think?
I like pubic hair. I don't know, like I like a full facial beard also, and I feel like for the same reason, I don't like to see, like, I appreciate it to be trimmed because, when you're, like, blowing someone, it gets, like, in your nose, your eyes or whatever. I don't like there to be, like, too much trimming or shaving.
I agree.
I like it to look
don't be
rugged.
more manscaped
just clean up.
Just
clean up. It's like clean up your room just a little, like swipe down, make sure everything's
And with
clean.
my own vagina, I wax it myself, and I leave a landing strip also, but because that's the part that's the most painful. Right on the mons pubis above the clitoris. So I won't take that off because it just hurts the most out of every other area.
Okay.
But about the beard thing, though, by the way, the sensation of having a guy go down on you when he has a beard, I love.
Yeah, me too.
I love.
Yeah, it can feel good if it's just,
scruff.
but not if it's too newly scruffy. That could be.
It has to be soft. It has to be like a little bushy.
It's grown out enough, so it's like bushy soft.
I kind of like it a
Oh,
little.
you like to?
A little.
See, we're all different. I love that.
I've gotten beard rash down there though. Yeah. I had to like do A&D ointment for like a lot of days.
I've had that too.
Yeah.
I blocked it. Okay, so that was good about balls, manscaping. Okay, when we come back, we're going to get hardcore anal. But I have to just take a moment here to talk about some of the people that we love in this show that help keep this show free and exciting. Let's get into anal, you guys, because I feel like when I started my show, it was always like, I thought that, I feel like just in the last 10 years even, it was always about like blowjobs, whatever, but anal, like with porn and everything, I just feel like everyone wants to talk about anal, but a lot of people are also confused and intimidated about anal sex. So what's been your experience with anal sex?
Oh, I might reveal myself to be the most inexperienced, actually. I've never had anal.
Okay.
I've had some fingers up there, which I don't mind. But I think like it didn't really enter into my world until after, like probably only in the last maybe 3 years has it been a thing that people are really talking about. And it's never kind of naturally come up in conversation with guys that I dated prior to that.
Okay, so they weren't like, hey baby, I want to.
No. And like the last year it's been definitely more prominent.
Okay.
With fingers and so forth. But I've never had full. Now, I totally would. It's not something that I'm dying to have because of the poop issue that we discussed.
Yeah, but
I also
clear that out. Okay.
Well, I poop a lot, though.
So I just taught an anal sex workshop.
Oh, yeah.
No, but I did. And I really think that so many people are interested in learning about it because they are very confused by, you know, how to keep clean. Do you do enemas? And I was like, no enemas. You don't want to buy like an enema in the store, but you could do a water enema. Like just buy the enema thing, the squeezy thing, and just put warm water in it. And you like flush through 3 times, and it would just to make sure that you're ready and you're not worried about the poop thing. Sure. Because before that, I always said, just don't have a large, don't go out for Mexican food and have anal. But really, you got to make sure that you're like emptied out, and that is a way to do it.
To me, it feels like a new frontier of intimacy. I have yet to find the person that I really want to have anal with.
No, it's a big thing.
It is a big thing.
You know, there's a lot of taboo. There's a lot of intimacy, psychological, emotionally. Like just someone going in your ass. Like
totally.
You're like there. You're like intimate. So okay, what about you, Jen?
Well, I like a good finger in my butt. But we don't need to shoot it up there real quick and just go hard.
No, it never should be. Right.
It should be like, I almost just prefer like when I'm on top, just like you can touch it and just put it in a little bit, like a little like worm going into a hole. But I like that. And so it's made me want to do more anal stuff.
Okay.
I've done anal once and it lasted like 2 minutes and I was very drunk on tequila and it felt like a reversal poop. It felt like poop was going back into, because like, you know, the feeling when you poop and the poop comes out, it felt like the poop was going back in. And I was like, what's happening? This is the wrong route, you know? And it just felt weird and rushed and not the best experience, but I'd be down.
Well, that's okay. So what I want to say to you is that it's so common that women, like anal sex just gets a bad rap because a lot of people just don't know what they're doing. And first-time experiences for many women is that they're with a partner, they're drunk. As I always say this in my instruction, they're drunk. The guy just sticks it in without prep, because prep takes, you got to warm her up. You want to use your fingers. You want to make sure she's relaxed and use lots of lube. Like when I say lots of lube, like you can just keep pouring on the lube. And so women have had experiences where I just shove it in. It's painful because the problem is we're so nervous. We clench.
Yeah.
Well, that's the worst thing you can do when you're having it because you're like scared. So you got to make sure that you're really relaxed, that they've already started to like, you know, do like maybe like a little massage around your anus, play with some fingers, lube, and you just got to keep breathing and make sure that he goes in slow. But so many women like don't know this, or guys don't know this, and then they're like, it was horrible the first time, I'll never do it again. So I'm here on the planet so people can try this and maybe have a good experience next time. What about you, Kim?
Well, looks like I'm the anal slut here today.
I love it. Everyone needs an anal slut. Okay.
No, not like seriously.
Honey,
though,
I
mean,
think you're a slut.
I think it's my age. I've had maybe more partners. But actually, I don't even think I really got into it or even enjoyed it or got much out of it until maybe my early 30s, because it was kind of weird and when I was younger or whatever. But definitely it's something that I like to share with like somebody that I'm really into. I like to feel really safe and comfortable. It's not like, hey, let's just hook up and have anal tonight. It's definitely something that I think is very exciting when it's kind of spontaneous. And it's actually, once you get into it, it's like, I mean, it's super hot. No. Well, no, but I get really turned on, especially like if
they're so
like,
turned on too.
Yeah, and especially if like you're touching like your clit while they're back there, and like there's just so many like things like you just, I don't know, it definitely takes things to the next level.
So what positions do you like for anal sex?
I'm just like, you know, like the guy behind is obviously like probably works the best, but I've actually been on top before too.
Right.
And like squatting and like facing, you know, away from
like
the guy.
reverse cowgirl.
Yeah.
Anal.
Which is super hot too. But just like you said, Emily, you have to like start out with just like the tip, and then you have to just breathe, and then you have to like really go. You have to like inch your way in like very slowly, because it is kind of painful at the beginning. It feels like,
but then it's right. But if you breathe and you go slow, then it's almost like you guys breathe together. Like you breathe in. And then when you breathe out, he puts in a little more. So it's like you're really like synchronized. I mean, it sounds a lot more difficult, but if you just do that and you're relaxed and you keep breathing, it actually is a lot less painful, and it can feel really amazing once you get into that relationship.
It sounds like intimate and wonderful.
I know,
and I'm like,
right?
I want a dick.
Let's all go have anal tonight and then go out for drinks before or after. Laurie, what about you?
I've had a lot of anal.
Oh, good.
Always in a serious relationship, because I think, you know, being able to prep for it is really important. Like, I like to have a shower. I have done like water enemas when I was nervous about what meals I had that day. And it is really intimate. So I have to have someone that I know is going to like listen to me when I say, no, that hurts or whatever. The first time I did it, I was like really drunk and on my period. And I was like, let's just use the other hole, you know?
You're like innovative thinker.
And I was so drunk that like at the time I was really into it, and I woke up like in kind of in pain the next day because I didn't do it right. And then in the next relationship that I did it in, we took every step and every precaution to make it feel good, and like I was psyching myself into having it feel good. Then one time we did it and I was on top like normal cowgirl, and it just like felt amazing. Wow. It was like, oh man, this is the first time I've ever done it that it feels, I think, better for me than it's feeling for him.
Wow, see?
And I've been chasing that. Yeah,
chasing that anal high.
Yeah.
You will get it again, I promise.
Oh,
but that's the thing about sex is that, we do get so limited in the way we think that we can enjoy that sex. And my whole purpose, on the planet is showing people that it can expand and grow. And actually, our bodies have so many nerve endings that feel really good that we don't even know about. And it can constantly get better, your sex life, and expand and grow and have different sensations all the time, which I love. So you guys, so anal. Any other tips for anal? Did we cover that? Do's and don'ts?
How about like toys with anal?
Yeah, toys, butt plugs or vibrators.
You can use your vibrator while you're having anal.
And your clitoris?
Or inside.
That's
anal
true.
beads.
Double penetration.
I mean, tried it. Yeah.
Yeah, you've tried it? How was it? Yeah, no, for sure.
I think that's what I was thinking about starting.
Yeah.
I would start there, like either a toy or something that just kind of preps my butthole for future use.
Yeah.
Little beads, right?
Well, no, there's anal. Okay, so butt plugs. Here's another great thing go back to masturbation for a minute.
Yeah.
If you're not used to like having anything in your butt, there's some great butt plugs that you can get, like silicone butt plugs, and that there's different sizes, there's all different stuff, and you just use a little lube when you're masturbating next time. And just try sticking it in and seeing how that feels. So you get used to the sensation of having something inside you. It's great. It's a great warm-up, and it's a great way just to know like how you like it. And a lot of people wear butt plugs like if they don't want to have anal sex yet with someone or just as mix it up. They'll wear it during sex. Butt plug.
You wear so you keep it in the whole time.
Yeah, you can keep it in. You can wear it during foreplay.
Oh. I've done anal beads before, actually. I'm remembering this now.
Talk to you about that.
And it's really wonderful when you're right before you're about to come. Like I was on top, and we used anal beads,
which are little beads that go in, and you pull it out. And you feel the
and it's just this sensation of just like it was at the same time, which is so important, timing, of course. And it was like he came as I came, and then he as he pulled the little beadies out, and I was like, oh my god,
wow,
because it really was stimulating so many things. It's hot,
yeah. That's really hot.
Maybe I should do that. It's been a while since
I think you should do it tonight. Let's
so
anal beads.
At what point did you put the beads in? Before?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, like as we're starting to fuck, or I'm on top, we lubed up the beads, I believe. I remember there wasn't like a long string, it wasn't a pearl that went down, it wasn't 6 yards,
right?
But and then we put them in, just not even all of them, just a few of them in me, and then right before I was like, oh, I'm gonna come, and then he took them out, and that kind of helped me come. That's the thing too. This is a tip for I think most men. I don't know if they know. If you are willing to touch a girl's asshole, it's clean, it's good. Maybe she's on top, you're grabbing her ass. Touch her asshole if she's about to come, and she will come. Like to me, it's the cherry on the if I'm like, there it goes.
Yeah.
It's just like an activation button.
Right. Or how about spanking your ass? How do you guys
I love
that?
spanking.
Yeah.
I love being spanked so much. I like handprints on my ass next day. What the hell? Love it.
Right.
I don't know why I got so staccato there.
But some guys don't know. I loved your delivery. It was very strong and powerful.
I think that like spanking and touching like your bum, I think these kinds of things, actually what they do for me is they bring me, my mind wanders when I'm having sex, and they make you more present.
Yeah.
It brings you back into like what's happening with the person, because I think that I'm guilty. My mind wanders. I'm thinking about like things I have to do or whatever. Not that I'm not enjoying it.
Right.
But it really snaps you back into reality. And then you're like, wow, this is like really happening. And that can push you over the edge to have your orgasm.
Yeah. And just something a little different, not expecting it. What do you think, Laurie?
I like to play the submissive role in bed, so I'm totally into being spanked. And also with anal sex, I feel like I'm totally submitting. Like this, I could get hurt if someone were to, be too rough with me, and that's hot to me. Yeah.
Do you ever use handcuffs or any sort of like?
I've never used handcuffs.
I've
been tied up once, but it was kind of like we were both laughing about it. That never ever really went successfully.
I like being tied up.
Yeah.
It's happened a few times actually.
It's like blindfold. I like it too. Yeah, and there's so many great things you don't need like like the handcuffs with the. I mean, they have like Velcro ones. They have bondage tape. It's really easy. I have these restraints because I get all this stuff sent to me, and so I have these restraints that are just live under my bed. It's my sport sheets. And they just live under my bed. They're on both sides. They're for hands and for feet. You can't see them. So my housekeeper comes in. They're like lying on the floor. I got to tuck them underneath the bed. But they're always there. Like I always have restraints. I have to say I haven't used them enough.
But do you use them on the guy or do you let?
No, I'm submissive in bed. But I would. I would. I haven't had a chance.
Because I think there's men that like to be.
Oh, for sure. A lot of men like to. Have you guys ever had experience where you dominated a man?
Yes. Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Oh God, let me think if I can. I mean, I enjoy like. I'm kind of a smaller person, smaller lady.
You're little, you're like a spinner.
Yeah, a total spinner.
Yes,
so
right.
I like climbing on a guy and like just like splaying all of his like legs and arms out, and then telling him what to do and telling him like you can't use your arms, you can't use your hands, you can't use your legs right now. Just deal with it. And then like having my way with him, just like licking where I want to lick, and
right, that's hot.
And like he can't touch his dick either, so like sticking it in when I'm ready for it, and like kind of grabbing his face and like slapping a little bit. That I don't like to be slapped, but I will like lightly slap a guy.
And if you were a guy, be like, oh, I don't want that, or they're like, whoa.
I mean, no,
well, who'd direct you? Look at all these hot ladies. I'll do fucking whatever. You want to tie me up and stick something with banana in my butt? No, don't stick a banana in your butt. Don't do that. Okay, so what about fantasy? When you guys are masturbating, do you guys think about some things when you're masturbating? And if so, what kind of things do you fantasize about?
I think my thing that I've noticed, and I've been more open, especially since we've started doing our show, you just and also as you've gotten older, like you said, you just become more comfortable in what you like and being open about it. And I'm really into, I can't fantasize or watch or think about like a dude fucking a girl. It's like, well, that happens to me. That's a real thing. So I'm really big on girl. Even though I've never gone down on a girl or gone all the way with a girl. I've, done some stuff, but nothing crazy. And then gay sex. Watching two men.
Yes, a lot of
I really love it.
So common. Those are the two most common for women is gay sex and women watching women. Yeah. Even if they've never, women always email, they're like, does it make me gay? I'm like, no, just what turns you on? It's beautiful seeing two women together. Yeah. What about you? Kim's going, wow.
I'm not the guy thing. I've never been into that. I saw it this
gay porn, you mean?
Yeah, I mean, as a woman, I just thought that does nothing for me.
Right, but it's very,
it's cool.
I know, it's so common. That's like,
but that's so amazing. I just cheat every time.
You cheat? Porn. Oh, porn. What kind of porn do you watch?
Everything.
Like what? Like how do you know when you go to YouTube, YouPorn or whatever?
I just kind of see like what's new, what's streaming. It doesn't even take long. It's just like I just cheat. I just need that.
No,
I need the visual stimulation. I can't just like
You're
make
not
some
creating your own
fantasy
thing
up in my head. No.
Laurie's like, I got some porn.
I think about almost exclusive. All right, so try not to get weirded out, but I almost exclusively think about women I know.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that you're not
time.
Even wow. That
naked.
You know.
Like having sex with one of the women that I know in my life. Not necessarily that I'm attracted to or anything. It's just I've gone through all of them. Like,
have you been with a woman before?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'd say I'm like 35% gay.
Oh.
So
I
like
don't know this.
I don't know.
I also love that it wasn't 30. It was 35.
We never
thought about it.
That wasn't on your resume. No, I'm kidding. We've talked about everything.
I gravitate towards men. I've never been with a woman. I've wanted to, but
never,
I just.
So why would you?
No, I mean I've never been in a relationship with a woman.
Got it. But you've hooked up with a woman.
I've hooked up with a woman and like had, flirtation dating situations with women, but not as often or as successfully as with men. But when masturbating, I'll even like go into it trying to think about a guy that I know, and it'll switch at the end to a girl that I know. Just every time.
I don't think about women that I know, but I love boobs, and I love thinking about boobs. I like looking at pictures of boobs, and when I look at porn, it's all about women with like big tits, big real tits, ideally. But there's some I don't know, and like I've never been with a woman, and
do you want to be with a woman? You think? Is it on the bucket list?
I wouldn't say no, but I don't know what to do with vaginas.
I know. You just got to get down there and get into it. Well, you do know because you have one.
I do. That's true.
Oh, but
that's
you don't
true.
love a man performing oral sex on you. So
I like it, but I don't. I think that I enjoy giving more than I.
It's funny once you get the vagina, because I've been with a few. I've had a few experiences. I've dabbled. You just kind of know. I don't know. It's like riding a bike. No, I'm kidding. It's not the same thing because I never did it before. But like you have a vagina, so you're like, oh, I kind of know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a good analogy. If I had to like curl your hair, Kimberly, because you can curl hair, I can curl your hair. Stupid, but no, vaginas. You kind of get it. Yeah. I mean, a few times. I'm like, oh, okay. I think I can. You just get in, right?
Yeah, like what you would want.
Yeah, because you know what I have one.
Yeah, like I just think about when someone's going down on me, how do I like it? And then I just would do that. Right. And I usually let them go first.
Oh, really?
So that I
Yeah.
can see like what
The
their
woman?
the woman, yeah, like what their style is, and then I'll just copy. I'll just
Right.
mimic it, you know.
Smart.
Okay, so we guys, what is the so we're talking about fantasy, and then I want to know what is the one thing that a guy can do? Is there anything that's your go-to that will turn you on every time? Like if he nipples your neck, or do you love oral sex? Does he have to talk dirty? Anything
There's
comes to mind?
a couple things to me. One is anything in my neck, ear area. It is such an erogenous zone for me. And that's why I actually like doggy style a lot, because when the guy's behind you and he's just like kind of whispering or like licking that area, I mean, that turns me on a lot. I would say that, and then also like licking my nipples, not doing anything hard to them, not
don't bite 'em.
squeezing. No, I don't even like squeezing. I don't like pinching. I don't like any of
It
that.
almost makes me nauseous
Yes.
when someone overly pinches
Yeah.
my nipples. It's almost like it makes me nauseous.
Yeah.
Weird. Yeah.
But rubbing is so tantalizing.
Yeah,
That I
rubbing
love.
him like
Rubbing
soft,
nipples.
like going around in circles or something. It's
Yep.
great. Again, another great place to have lube.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a big turn on nipples.
Yep.
Anything else for you guys? The one like, big turn
Ears.
off.
I think ears is a big thing. Like that little like that breathy S.
Oh,
like
I love
that
it.
breathy S after like one glass of wine, and it's like we're going home. Because I also don't want to be too shit bomb drunk. I want to
Right.
enjoy the sex with you. And then talking dirty. I'm really into that. I think that's just something I just like it. I like when I like eye contact. And sometimes you got to force yourself because you're like closing those eyes and you're trying to get there, or you've been with someone for a while. And I'm really trying to learn, like, no, I'm going to look at you and you're going to look at me, and like we're in each other right now.
Yeah.
The whole time, you mean, or just at some point during sex?
Oh yeah, at some point during sex. Not like I'm staring at him like a murderer,
Right.
but like,
Right.
yeah.
But dirty talk, I agree. I think dirty. What do you think about dirty talk?
I love it. Love it, love it, love it. But to answer the question that we were talking about,
Yeah,
is
thanks. What are they
things that turn me on. I really love it when I'm like totally like in it, like having sex, and like we're like he's in me and we're like going at it, and I love like mixing it up, and I like him to go down on me to break it up.
Oh.
So like
Right.
we're doing it, and then he's like going down on me, because it just gets so overstimulated that like brings me to like, it heightens my orgasms too.
So you like oral sex when he goes down on you, and can you have
While we're having sex,
right?
Or, like,
or he
you know,
stops
yeah,
and then goes down on you.
stop,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's like
I love that.
amazing.
The longer you can go down on me and prolong it, take breaks. I don't care, but come back. to
It builds it for me. It allows me to build like my whole orgasm.
right,
So-
and that's what sex should be about: building the orgasm, building the arousal.
Right.
Ideally,
I
yes.
totally
Laurie?
second the ear thing. Like the ear thing is huge for
Yeah.
me. But I also hair pulling and ass grabbing. I really will always get
Hair
me.
play. It's all those nerve endings. And here's the thing about the neck. We all said this. The neck is like one of the top erogenous zones for men and for women. There's a lot of nerve endings there. So that's why it feels so good. And don't you feel, have you had this experience when you're with someone at the beginning and they do it like once or twice and then they just like forget about your neck?
Oh yeah, I hate that.
You're like, could you just kiss my neck? I feel like I want to put like a little bullet tie here, like kiss the neck.
That
you
happens
know?
a lot in general. I think it's about trying to like
gotta
keep it fresh, because it will never. I mean, it's like a psychological study that after the first 3 months, a lot of things can fall by the wayside, or it can get monotonous and just.
Right.
Ugh.
Biology, it's true. After a year and a half, it's like you're bonded, the oxytocin, all of that, and then after all, this takes the dive, and you got to. That's why couples have to work on bringing it back up
This is why I don't have relationships.
because it dives.
No, I'm teasing.
No, I get
No,
it.
but it's yeah.
exciting. The newness of sex is there's nothing quite like that. You don't get
like
that
it.
back. But the thing about being with someone committed is that you just then it's fun. That I always say that sex is fun. Like work on a way to keep connecting and changing it up and trying different things. Okay, did you answer your biggest guess?
yeah, the
hair pulling.
hair
How could I
pulling.
forget? Okay, so what about turn off? Like, is there anything a guy, everything's going great, and he does something, and you're like, oh, Uber,
Oh man, I gotta think about this.
During kissing, if you rush and if you keep your tongue stiff,
Ugh.
you know, like
It's the worst.
Yeah.
Like a pencil kisser.
Actually,
yeah, like a dart.
kissing's so important to me. You're like licking too, just like I like it to be wet, but like you can really screw up.
I have a similar to that is one time I dated this guy who would finger me, but his way of fingering was to insert his finger and then just leave it there. I called him dead finger. That is, guys, I love being fingered. Like, to me, one of the sexiest things is being fingered under a table or at a bar. And by the way, that's something I also like.
Oh,
like,
public sex.
Public sex, love it. So like that kind of,
yeah.
So that like kind of like, getting fingered when you shouldn't be getting fingered is great. But the worst thing you can do is just fucking stick it out there and then not.
It's like a turkey
That's
thermometer.
It's so bizarre. You're like, what? Shake it around.
Shake it around, something.
Turn off.
I'm like, I think that's
You're like,
such
I'm
an
flex.
individual
It
thing.
is, that's
like,
what I'm
just
at.
like,
Okay.
there's not one thing.
No. I guess how about if a guy
person.
doesn't try to please? So do we all like oral sex performed on us?
Oh man, I had a guy that I call him Big Dick because he had a big dick. But so
that's a good
Big Dick
way to remember him.
Big Dick was like, I was like, why don't you go down on me? And he's like, I don't do that. And I was like, why? What do you mean you don't do that? He's like, trust me, you won't need it. I'm like, no, trust me, I do need it already. Oh, he was awful.
Guys,
Big
just
dick,
some
though.
guys. Do you ever find that? So you like oral sex performed on you?
Love it, but I just had this happen recently where this guy was like, I was like, okay, my turn, and he was like, no. And I was like, what? Are you kidding me? I was like, so turned
You're like, this
on.
wasn't a yes or no.
And he was kind of
question.
like, well, I like to do that with girls that I'm like seeing or dating. And I'm like,
And had you already given
I'm
him,
like,
like,
you just saw my whole body. What the hell, But yeah, I don't know. We messed around.
Right.
But I was still expecting it because it seems so normal to me these days. It's just like kissing somebody, like go down on me. Like if you're getting intimate and taking off your clothes, I think you should be having oral sex.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Well, they expect the blowjob.
What about you guys? Like oral sex?
I like oral sex. I think it's good. I don't need it done for an hour and a half. Like I get in my head. My head goes a mile a minute. That's just my brain. So I like it. But then for me, it's more just foreplay until we're ready to.
Okay.
That's how I feel too. Because I love leading up to penetration. Penetration feels so
we
good.
also don't want to go right. We sometimes do want a quickie, but typically we need something. So as far as oral sex, since we're all pretty much fans, although you said
well, I do like it. I just think I enjoy giving it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but is there one tip you think that guys, if you could tell men in the world a big message right now from you to guys, what is the one thing that you wish they knew about oral sex? Or it can even be, if you don't have an answer to that, it could be about sex in general.
I think that maybe it's just my body or what I love, but I don't really get a lot of satisfaction from oral sex unless he's touching my G-spot.
Okay, with 2 fingers, 1 finger?
1 or 2, depending on how big his fingers are, I guess. But there has to be some pressure on my G-spot while he's like licking my clit.
Okay, otherwise you won't have an orgasm.
I mean, no, absolutely not. Nope.
I'm totally opposite.
Yeah.
Like if I really love getting oral sex, but it's almost like if I'm about to come and he'll put fingers in me, it'll stop my orgasm because it'll like bed of nails effect, I guess, like split the sensation.
Yeah.
I agree.
So,
See, it's to every woman, but I've talked
Mm-hmm.
about it's so that's why guys, when you call, they're always like, I think I'm bad at oral sex because my recent girlfriend can't come. I'm like, just because your last girlfriend liked it a certain way, we're going to show you right now that we are all different. So what about you, Jen?
Oh no, it's the same. That recently has happened where it was clitoral stimulation with the tongue, and it's like a nice swirling motion, not just
give me some tips.
Like use your tongue and find the clit, and really use some sort of swirling motion to activate it and to start, to make it feel good. Don't just go down there and lick it like it's a cone.
Right.
Like that to me, that's not eating out. That's not oral sex to me. And then I also like 1 or 2 fingers, which hasn't always happened. And then as of recently, I was like, whoa.
Right.
And it was another
In the vagina.
in the vagina,
He's
like
licking your clit.
but it like deeply going in there.
See,
like,
I was gonna say what I like about oral sex is it's when a guy
Because you're the Kegel girl. You can,
So the deeper he can go in with his tongue, the more I like it, and almost like drawing out the juices. That sounds gross.
Oh,
but
no, but that's
like
hot.
that kind of come hither thing where he's like lapping you up. I mean, that I love. Like a guy with a long tongue, I love.
I wish. Do they ever say that on dating sites? Like I'm 6'4", like went to Princeton. I've got my tongue is 4.5 inches erect.
I wish they would. I think that a long tongue is underrated.
That's how I've never even thought about it. I mean, I just think if they're good or not. But I'm like, maybe you have a really stubby tongue.
Yeah, you might. Yeah. I actually
because guys always want to know how do I do it? Am I doing it right? And I always say go slower than you think because guys sometimes they go right to it. And if we are sensitive, like I like when guys tease and they like your inner thighs and they take their time. Like the ideal situation is that I think that we're begging for it. We want it. We can't
I'd
wait.
say like
Your turn
lay
time.
off the clit for like the first 3 minutes.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
don't
at
even
least,
touch
at
it.
least.
Yeah.
Also ask, guys. Like if you're down there and you're kissing my vagina, then we're in a moment together. So have that confidence, which I think is a real turn on in general, is confidence to be like, what do you like? What do you want? How am I, like, and make it sexy, but like, do you like what I'm doing? Or I don't know. Like,
talk about it. Have you guys has there ever been a way that you communicated, like you thought, God, this guy, it's never going to work. He's a bad kisser or he's bad this, but then you had to talk and then it turned around, the sex life? Or is it just like, oh, he was, tell me.
Dude, I had it was my boyfriend, and I felt like when we were kissing, he would never open his mouth enough. Like it was like he was tight-mouthed. Like I couldn't get in there, and I didn't know why. Yeah,
Big Dick Harry.
French fry Freddy comes back.
Like in a totally neutral setting, I was like, "Hey, why do you kiss like this?" And he's like, "Oh, I just have like an insecurity about my breath." And I'm like, "Dude, your breath's fine. It was always fine. It's never been alarming to me."
Right.
And then after that, he just started opening his mouth, and it changed everything.
Great, that's good. See,
yeah, but I had no idea. He was thinking, I thought that's just how he kissed, but he was thinking like,
brush
oh, my
his teeth,
breath.
mouthwash. Maybe he had someone told him that.
Yeah, at one point, like he was traumatized or something, but he had good breath.
It's a good story because it can turn around. Were you gonna say something?
Nope.
Okay, I have a question. Have you guys ever had a threesome?
Oh, no. And I've been thinking recently that maybe I would be into it.
Okay.
And the reason is because of this boob thing. Because I'm like, if I like boobs so much, but I know that I love a dick. So why don't
Why not have boobs and dick?
Why not have both?
Right, it's a sure thing with a threesome.
Yeah. Because then it's like I know what to do with a dick, and then I like can maybe play around with boobs and see what happens.
No expectations. You can just play around and see how it goes.
But I do have this concern. I think I'm very, very selfish. Like in bed, I want all the attention on me.
Right.
So I don't actually. That's been a bit of a turnoff for me when I think about threesomes. I'm like, I don't like. And I think as a result, I don't think that I could have a threesome with anybody that I'm in a relationship with or that I care a lot about. I think it has to be somebody that I'm a friend of and somebody that I like, but not somebody that I am super emotionally connected to. Because seeing a guy that I'm emotionally connected to having sex with somebody else.
That's true. I mean, typically the best threesomes my best threesome experience in this also is confirmed by other people, is that when it's been someone that I know, maybe I'm casually dating, we're not committed, and there's another woman, and like there's no feelings, and there's no I mean, there's feelings. I like the guy enough to sleep with him, but I'm not like we're together. We brought a third in.
Exactly.
It's like we're all unattached, but we came together for this beautiful night of threesome. Okay, threesome.
Yes.
Okay.
But with two guys.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
awesome.
I recommend it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's on my list.
What did they do to each other?
Nothing. It was all about me.
Okay.
That's why it was so
That's
amazing.
what you need.
That is what I
There's
need.
no boobs.
Well, but I like a dick though, so maybe I just go, double D's.
Exactly.
Dicks on parade.
Dicks on dicks.
I would do it, but I'm very big on what you just said, which is the idea that like it would be casual, it would be respectful and friendly, but I don't know if I fall for somebody if I could see them fucking around with
It's really
another.
hard to, right.
I'm cool, I'm not that cool.
Right.
Yeah.
I've never had a threesome. I had a little bit of a lesbian orgy in 6th grade, but I've never. Yeah, it was nuts.
Best quote of
A
this
lesbian
podcast.
origin
No,
in sixth grade.
Straight up, like it was nuts. But having an adult threesome is definitely
when you're out of middle school,
right? It's definitely probably 1 or 2 on my bucket list. Like I really would like to.
It's not hard to find, is it? I don't know.
I bet
What
you.
kind-
Well,
what's
the Laurie manifest tonight. You'll have a threesome. It's Friday night.
What
It will happen.
dynamic do you want? You want another guy, 2 guys?
I would
guy
like
and a
another girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe 2 other girls. I don't know.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Oh,
that's
3
an
girls,
option,
right? Because
too.
you're 35%
Let's not
lesbian.
limit ourselves.
Right. Maybe if we go up to 45 by the end of the month, who knows what's going to happen? Okay, you guys, I think we got to wrap this up. We got it all in. You guys are great. Thank you so much for being here. This was a dream. I got to have you back. I think I kind of asked this, but there is one last question. And I kind of said, is there any one thing, I guess I just said about men, that you just think that if you could talk to every man, I was saying about oral sex, but is there anything that you just wish that men, you think that's very misunderstood over and over again by men sexually?
I mean, we've talked about this a bit at Lady Freak, and I think it was during the show that you were on, Emily, where the men are just they're able to so easily disconnect emotionally after sex. And for women, it is, at least in my experience, it is much harder. It is especially if there are like actual deep feelings involved. Right. So I would just caution men to be cognizant of that, to be aware of the emotional side of sex.
Because we have the oxytocin after orgasm. We feel connected, and you just fell asleep.
And you just fell asleep. And then even like in the days after, you know, there's just like, you can move on with your life and not think about it. But here I am thinking like, we just shared our physical juices together.
Right, exactly.
And you were in my
You were
space.
lapping up my juices.
You were lapping up my juices with your 6-inch tongue. And
now you're texting me like, hey.
Yeah, or not even.
Or not. Or not.
Yeah.
We didn't even get it. We're going to do another dating show with you guys.
Yeah,
We have to ask
definitely.
about that. But I want to get into sex. Anything that you'd like to impart, Jen?
I think just be vocal about what you want, what you like, and what the other person wants. Like, and not be afraid to do that. I think as I've gotten older, it's like, it's not dorky to be like sexually open to get that pleasure that you want out of your partner. And to try new things and to keep it spicy. Because I'm getting out of something where it could have been a little spicier. And so now I'm like excited.
Now you'll never go back there to the unspice again. Spicy. What about you, Kim?
Well, this isn't really all about sex. It's more about just sex and relationships.
Yeah, sure.
But just being like upfront with what your intention is and what you're there for. You know, like if you just want to hook up and have sex, just say it. Because there are a lot of women that will give it to you, and you're gonna have better sex than if you're not like being authentic.
Like, don't pretend that you want a relationship and just be like,
or
what are we about? You mean before?
Yeah, or don't be like all making plans, like, oh, I want to see you next, you know, whatever. Just like be upfront, tell somebody what you're up for, and just be authentic.
Yeah,
it's great. Laurie?
I would say sexually with guys, like to make sure there's always a crescendo or a buildup.
To tease.
The teasing thing and
the
foreplay and building. I just think I can't like tell enough guys this. Like there has to be something before something else.
Foreplay is a suggestion. Foreplay is a requirement, not a suggestion.
Yes.
Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much. And is there anything? How can people find you? Find your show, Twitter, all that stuff?
Yeah, Jen and I have our show. We have our show at LadyFreakComedy.com. That's where you can go see info about us. And then my Twitter handle is at GraceParra360, GraceParra 360. Instagram is the same too.
Okay.
Hit me up.
Lady Freak Comedy every month at UCB Sunset. My handles are Jen B Giggles. I'm on Snapchat now. I'm doing a horrible job at it, and you can watch my sketch show on True TV, Friends of the People, that comes on every Thursday night at 11.
Awesome. Okay, cool. And we'll have all this on our site as well. We're going to be taking some pictures if you want to see how sexy these ladies are. Kim, no one can find you because
you can't find me anywhere.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's cool. Okay, Laurie?
Yeah.
Sex with Emily?
Yeah, Sex with Emily. I'm there.
She's there. Yeah. Okay, you guys, you were wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. This was really a fun show. And thank you, everyone. Thank you, Madison, for producing a great show. Thank you to Laurie. And thanks, everyone, for listening. Was it good for you? Email me, feedback@sexwithemily.com.